the narrative trying to be, who else? Who can maybe provide a test? Who can maybe be a challenger and a contender elsewhere around the Eastern Conference?
Top two is going to be a runaway. But I guess if I had to choose, Ben, it's going to be the Knicks. At least they have the talent to somehow upset teams that are better than them, but they can't in the regular season. Maybe it changes in the playoffs.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith-Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread waters. I think that puts into a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength. We need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
They have already decided, it would appear to me, from what you're telling me, that they're satisfied with the quarterback room as it stands now.
Shedeur Sanders does not have the value to go at number 3. I know they need a quarterback. It's about this season with Russell Wilson, okay? No question he's going to be the starter. Winston will back him up. But the future they can get next year.
Pharrell, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bust and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun, and we've got more drama than an episode of Melrose Place. Let's roll. We've got NBA basketball, although we should note not a ton of drama besides the pushing and the shoving and the smack talk and everything else that's going on in H-Town right now. The Houston Rockets exploded early, took off early in this basketball game. Golden State was unable to recover and kind of rolled over, then went on a little bit of a run. It's been a spirited second half. The game has gone over the number. The Rockets are on the verge of extending the series, and are on the verge of covering the point spread. The final couple of moments of this game taking forever because they're pushing and shoving and, and all this other type of stuff. The Florida Panthers, speaking of elimination, the Florida Panthers are about to eliminate the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning just can't stop them. It's been a close game, but Florida just scored again. It's 5-3 right now, and Tampa is going to be eliminated. And the Florida Panthers, these guys are unbelievable. They've been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals already. I swear, I've been wrong. I've underestimated these son of a bitches for a couple of years now, to be honest with you. I didn't think they were as good as people thought they were, and then I realized, yeah, they kind of are, right? And now I'm like, wow, they won't be able to sustain it. Well, they kind of are sustaining it as well. And Tampa's a damn good team. Like, Tampa's really good, and they're just dummying the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning are just overwhelmed by the Florida Panthers. In a similar situation at Inter Miami and Messi. Say what? Messi, the most famous soccer player maybe ever. And they say, the best player ever, the Vancouver Whitecaps. I've been telling you guys, and this is one of the cool stories that we've been a part of, actually, and seeing it up close and cashing large along the way. Listen, I know a lot of people don't follow the MLS, and you see my soccer picks, and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But really, it doesn't really matter what sport it is. The team is hot. The team is hot, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody tells you, oh, yeah, you know what, the roulette wheel down at the Flamingo is broken and it's winning every night and paying big odds, and they don't know that it's broken, then you're probably pretty stupid if you don't go down there and try to, win some money. And it's to this point right now with the Vancouver Whitecaps. They're literally the best bet in sports. Literally the best bet in sports. They were plus 425. They were plus 500 at first. It came down. It closed at plus 425. Plus 425 on the money line. They just beat Inter Miami again, 2 times in a span of 6 days. They beat him in Vancouver last week. We were at the match, and now they just played tonight. There was a lot of smack talk. Oh, you're going to see what happens tonight, Messi was saying. Yeah, the beatdown will be the same again. Vancouver wins again. Now they're going to the CONCACAF Champions title game, which could be in Mexico City or it could be in Vancouver, depending on what happens tomorrow night between Cruz Azul and the Tigres as they go head-to-head. If the game is a draw after 90 minutes, it doesn't matter who wins. The championship game would be in Vancouver. But if one of the teams wins tomorrow in regulation, then they're going to host it in Mexico City. So that's that. So, yeah, as I was saying, 5-3 for the Florida Panthers right now over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're wrapping up the NBA game. We got another NBA game ready to tip off. And elimination is the theme of the night tonight. This time it's the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at the Lakers, you look at the Clippers, you look at the LA Kings, all 3 teams struggling, and it looks like all 3 teams are on the brink. They're all trailing in the series. Now, listen, I was wrong about this basketball game. I don't think the Houston Rockets are very good. They play defense and whatever. Okay, so they showed up tonight. The Warriors just didn't show up tonight. That's the thing. Like, an NBA game is a lot like if you bet on the UFC. Anybody that bets on the UFC knows what I'm talking about, in which like basically within 30 seconds, whether you're on the right side or not. You know what I'm saying? Like right away, you're like, all right, I feel good about this. Yeah, all right, good. I'm on the right side. Right? Or as you're getting like the crap kicked out of you, you realize, you know what, this really isn't the right side. The NBA, man, it might as well be like the game war. It's like you put the card down, it's like, I don't know, they're going to show up or they're not. And tonight they didn't. So it's 130 to 113. It's coming to a close right now. Ton of points scored. We did correct our mistake by jumping in on the over 215.5. And we did post it on X for you if you wanted to tail it. And those of you that tailed our soccer picks tonight, straight fire. Whitecaps, money line, plus 425, cash it. Whitecaps to qualify and over 2.5 in the game, plus 110, same game parlay, cash it. Whitecaps plus 1.5 goals in the game, minus 188, cash it. Whitecaps Inter Miami over 2.5 goals combined, minus 175, cash it. 3-1 final score. Brian White of the Whitecaps to score, plus 225, cash it. Sebastian Berhalter of the Whitecaps to score, plus 700, cash it. That's another great bet right now. Berhalter scored a goal in 3 straight games, and the odds, the sports books don't know who he is, right? It's plus 700. The only loss, we bet on that stiff Messi to score a goal. He didn't score. We did lose our bet over 9.5 corner kicks tonight, so for shame. All right, so we got the Lakers coming up here against the T-Wolves. And as I stated, I rolled the dice tonight. I took the Golden State Warriors on the money line, thinking, you know what, I don't really believe in the Houston Rockets. They showed up tonight. They did. Okay, fine. Now we get the LA Lakers. This is one of these things, and I was thinking about this earlier in the day. I'm going to take the T-Wolves here. I'm going to take the T-Wolves, but it's one of these deals where I think the T-Wolves can win this game outright or they're going to lose by 18. Do the T-Wolves have the mental toughness? Like teams in the NBA, they don't have the mental toughness to like close out series, a lot of them, because they're not that good. But the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, are pretty good. They've been in the league. You know what I mean? The guys on their team have been in the league. It's just like Mike Conley. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's Mike Conley going to learn that he hasn't learned already? You know what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert ain't getting any better, right? Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. He's the new face of the league and all this. Well, I don't know about that, but the kid is damn good. So the T-Wolves are really good, and they're going to win the series, but do they have the intestinal fortitude to close this thing out tonight? The Lakers are on the ropes, and the Lakers really another team that aren't that great. LeBron puts up numbers. He gets exposed on the plus-minus defensive side. Luka Doncic, we all knew this, and now people are surprised. Oh, Luka doesn't really play defense. No, he doesn't play defense. He's too busy complaining to the referee after every damn play. And you'll notice, Luka Doncic doesn't care. Like whether it's a 22-point game and he's up, or whether it's a 22-point game and he's down, or whether it's a 2-point game, and it's like, bro, we need you back on the other end of the floor. He will walk back and just talk to the referee. The other day, there was a wild sequence earlier in the series, and the Lakers, it was like 5-on-4 for the T-Wolves a couple of times because Luka Doncic was busy. Remember the other day he was bitching about the whistle? I thought I heard the whistle. It's like, bro, like you're still complaining, and they already scored, and you're still complaining like on the 2 possessions later, right? It's like it's the playoffs, bro. Nobody cares. You can bitch all you want. Bitch after the game about it. Get fined. Right? Say the refs suck in the media after the game and bite the bullet and pay the $75K or whatever the hell it is. But he's a problem. Like Dallas got called out. I said at the time, I don't have a problem with trading Luka Doncic because I see his weaknesses. And there's a reason. Look at Carlisle. Carlisle was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks. He quit and left to Indiana. And Doncic was 23 years old. I knew at the time, I'm like, yeah, there's something up here that like he puts up points, but coaches don't really want to coach him. And they don't really want to deal with it. And here we are right now. Great player. Dallas should have gotten a hell of a lot more for him, though. Other than that, we're just getting started. Bring it.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Wicked Wednesday continues. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. We're off and running at the Crypt. Last NBA game of the night. The Houston Rockets rolled the Golden State Warriors. Game sailed over the number this evening. We got a 4-0 start for the T-Wolves tonight. So we're on the T-Wolves plus the points. And if you're taking the T-Wolves plus the points, I think they're worth a look on the money line as well, currently plus 210 right now. There's always the assumption that these teams that need the win are going to get the win. but that's not always the case. And it's sort of like I believe in the zigzag factor and the theory. I get it in the playoffs and there's spots, situational spots. But as the series goes on and it gets later, like I like the situational, bounce back spot or the zigzag or whatnot. The team that loses back in game 2. Now, though, it's a little bit different with elimination. To me, we know the T-Wolves are winning this series, so it's just, do they have the balls? I said intestinal fortitude earlier, but I'll use the term balls. Do they have the balls to just sort of step up and win on the road and end the series? Like, sort of like the Pacers the other night didn't in Milwaukee. It was like, all right, guys, if you want to waste our time, we're going to have to go back home again. Fine, right? But somebody could get hurt, and this is, I would tell them, like in the modern era, if I was a coach, I know how to relate to them. I'd say, listen, you guys win tonight. That's more time to go be with your Instagram porn star girlfriend. More time for you to smoke weed, and you'll get 3 days off. How does that sound?
Amazing.
You gotta come at them with like something you can relate to. Hey, listen, you got it's a lot of weed you guys can smoke. Yeah. Here, give you a couple of days off. You know what I mean? Like if you win the game. But these teams, they don't show that edge. Toronto Maple Leafs, good example. It's like you can finish it off. Just finish it off, right? Good teams, if you really want to win. The Capitals. They get out of here, Montreal. They handle their business. Yeah, they lost the game, but they got it done in 5. They didn't 6 is when it starts to get long and turn into 10 days and 2 weeks and stuff. You got to handle your business in 5 and move on. So now Washington will be playing the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round. So just for the record, T-Wolves plus the points, and let's go money line plus the 210. We'll bring Brady Cannon and Cam Stewart in. The Panthers are about to eliminate the Lightning. And the Panthers are awaiting the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Ottawa Senators now. And the Winnipeg Jets have a 2-1 lead on the St. Louis Blues. A lot of goals here early. We got 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the hockey game. And the in-game total is 7.5 right now. Cam, what do you have here with the Blues and the Jets?
Gabe, I actually did something a little bit different with this game. I have game to go to overtime at plus 320. I could probably get a better number now that the Jets are up 2-1. But I'm also probably going to take a shot with St. Louis. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game went over 7.5. Multiple opportunities for both teams. People assume this series was going to be an under series. It's the complete opposite. Binnington, tonight he was better at home. He's on the road. The Jets, they're a desperate team right now. It's 3 goals and we got half a period left. So Morency, I would actually lean over 7.5.
Brady Cannon in the house with us, Las Vegas golfer. Brady, how are your future bets, non-golf betting bets going for you?
Well, first of all, great to be with you guys once again. I'm with Cam. With 3 goals in the first half of that first period in Winnipeg, I would have thought the in-game total, when you said what it was, I thought you were going to say 8.5. 7.5 seems a little low. I'd be with you, Cam, on the over on that one. I've got Colorado and Las Vegas to win the Western Conference, so I'm doing okay there. Those have been very good series, very competitive. I still think I'll end up being on the right side. And in the East, I'm not looking so good. I've got Toronto as my one team left in the dance, but I do think they're going to advance. And the reason I went with Toronto, and I know, Cam, you're cracking up, and first of all, a mutual friend, Rob Pizzola, kind of tipped me on this. He's the one that kind of turned me on to this a while back. It felt like the first season where Toronto wasn't getting all the headlines, and they didn't have the expectations. They weren't as good as like they have been in the past, and everybody's going, oh my God, this might be the year. This might be the year. There wasn't that conversation. They were a little bit more under the radar this year. And I said, okay, here's the time. Now it's the time to jump on Toronto. And here they go again, like you just said, Gabe. Gosh darn, close the thing out. You get to the 6th game and maybe even 7. I do think they'll win the 6th game. I think it'll be easier for them guys away from home. Agreed. I think that's probably one of the toughest things. When they're playing in front of the home crowd, there's so much pressure. On any team there's pressure, and then you're talking the Toronto Maple Leafs. That pressure is probably exaggerated tenfold or whatever. So the fact that they will be on the road for Game 6, I think is a good thing for the Maple Leafs.
I agree, and I bet the Leafs, Brady. No panic with the Leafs. I bet the Leafs to win the Cup and I'm not a Leaf fan, although I'm not going to lie, I got buyer's remorse right now. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking about this team? Like,
I got
you know what I mean?
buyer's
Like,
remorse.
but I got to live with it. I got to live with it. But I bet on the Senators last night, and before the series, so I bet the Leaf futures to win the Cup. I bet the Leafs to win the series in exactly 6 games. And I stepped up last night. I was like, the Senators will win. Like, they're going to win a plus 150. The Leafs won't close this out at home. I think they will finish it off. I think what's scary for the Leafs, though, now is I think they'll beat Ottawa, but it's this freaking Florida Panther team. They got to deal with the Florida Panthers after. And this Panther team, like, I keep waiting for them to, like, slow down or whatever, not be as good. And it's like wishful thinking. Like, they're just a machine, this team. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are a damn good team. And Florida are eliminating these guys easily in 5 right now.
You guys
so
know
the Leafs,
hockey better than I do. Is Florida really going to go to the final 3 seasons in a row? That's pretty amazing.
probably, yes. I hate to say it, but I don't see. It's like, who's going to beat them? It's one of the, who's going to stop them? It's one of those.
The one team that could give Florida
Carolina could.
Carolina. That's exactly it. The Carolina Hurricanes are now, the books know, Gabe knows this. We talked about it the last night, Brady. They're the favorites, and for a reason. Like, they took
but
care of their
Carolina's going to
business.
have their hands full with Washington. I think they beat Washington, but that's not an easy series. That could go either way, too. Let's
so
be
you're
real.
saying
Washington
if the Leafs do win, Florida's going to, like Stanley C.
That's
Panthers.
what I'm saying. I don't know what the hell I was thinking
like...
about the Leafs going through all these teams.
I tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if that Florida Leaf series goes 7. I think the Leafs will show up.
And one thing, one thing I'll say too. We know Pizzola a long time, Mr. Analytics and no emotion. Pizzola's a Leaf fan, Rob. You got hooked in. He's a Leaf fan.
True.
Looking for an edge in betting basketball? Injuries can make or break a game. Get insider knowledge from Dr. David Chow and the team of experts with Sick Picks at Sports Injury Central. We reveal hidden health-based advantages the sports books miss. Our doctors provide insights, and our algorithm tells you who to bet on. Spreads, props, totals, in-game bets, Sick Picks covers it all. Go to SickScore.com and sign up for Sick Picks and use the promo code SportsGrid for a free week today.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Pages. Let's get lucky.
The Wicked Wednesday continues. This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them. everybody else in between. All right, so the T-Wolves are off to, it's a little bit of a slow start in this game, but the T-Wolves are looking good, 15-9. But if you're the T-Wolves, you got to get like a double-digit lead because, the Lakers are going to, they're going to go on a run eventually. So you got to build a little bit of a cushion and sort of let that roller coaster go. But I legit think the T-Wolves can win this game tonight. We pulled the trigger, plus 210. Moneyline T-Wolves plus the points. Let's get to some golf. And speaking of golf, this is a tragic story. Earlier in the day, we saw the headline that Jeff Spurbeck, who's the longtime business manager, friend, agent of John Elway, Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway. And I saw earlier in the day he unfortunately passed away at the age of 62. And it said he died on a golf course. And it basically, there was like, in a golf cart. But no one really knew what happened. But now it turns out that John Elway was driving the golf cart. And Brady Cannon, Las Vegas golfers in the golf industry, Brady. And so you would know. And, earlier in the day, we started talking about this. People are like, what happened? And did he have a heart attack? And then I said, golf carts can be pretty dangerous. Like, we've all been there, right? And, dumb, drunk, or whatnot. I had a buddy, it fell on top of him once. He was screwing around. I once was, screwing around. I nearly drove off a mini cliff at this golf course once, and it would have been bad. Like, who knows what would have happened if we would have went down, like with the cart and everything and trees and whatnot. Who knows? Like, it seems, long story short, Brady, golf carts can be dangerous, can't they? Now, I don't know what happened here exactly here, but what's your take on this story? Like, how do I'm just thinking right now, well, so Elway was driving, like, was there some horseplay? Were they screwing around? Like, what's going on here? What, have you heard anything about this?
I'm like you guys, basically a little bit in the dark here. The story is still in its infancy. I did see the announcement come out earlier today that this gentleman, passed away. It was Elway's agent. They were in a golf tournament or something like that together. And the first thing that I came to mind was, they were making a sharp turn or something and he got thrown out of the cart and maybe he hit his head. I don't know if but that's what I envisioned. It seemed like they were reporting that he could have, like you said, just been sitting there in the golf cart and had a heart attack. I don't know if that's the case either. The first thing that came to mind for me, kind of along the lines of what you're saying, is golf carts can be dangerous. I mean, not even trying to goof around or whatever, sober as a judge, and you can, get into a wreck with some of those things and stuff. So I just immediately thought, wow, did he fall out of the cart? What happened? I don't know. It's all speculation at this point. It's obviously tragic. Elway did come out on social media and make a statement, his longtime friend. He's obviously just devastated. He didn't necessarily talk about, what happened or anything like that. And there could be legal ramifications. I don't know. That's always the ugly side of this. The fact of the matter is a kid's father, maybe he's a grandfather at this point. I don't know. A husband, he's gone. A friend. Now the dirty details may come to the ahead here, and I think that's probably going to be something we find out in the next couple of weeks. And I hope it's nothing ugly, but it might be. I just don't know.
You're right. We're not going to speculate, right? But there's a lot of, like you're exactly right. There's a lot of different routes, and your mind starts to think, well, this could happen and that could happen, and I'm sure, Cam, you've had an incident or two in a golf cart. I've come close to, like, flipping them, like tipping. And, I was a jerk, though. I was sort of, hey, you know what I mean? Like, driving along. Like, you think it's like bumper cars sometimes. You think it's all sort of harmless until it's not. And especially golf courses, Cam, they're very hilly and stuff. And there's trees and little ravines. And, like, things can end bad, man. This thing lands on top of you. It could kill you easily. Like, no problem at all.
There's been many golf deaths on the course due to like guys getting smoked by a liner in a cart. Like, you know what I mean? And then after that, it's mayhem. My buddy was like, had a few beers, Gabe, and he got like, horseplay, he's joking around, hits a rock, axle breaks, we go into a lake. We almost died.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's fine until it's not.
Malaysia Puwali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flauze Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mock 1 in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Looking into the golf cart accidents per year. There's some different numbers here, different studies. But long story short, thousands of people a year go to the hospital, and there's been 500 deaths, like 500 plus deaths on golf carts over the years. So it is dangerous. So warning to you people. And not just, as Brady stated, you could be sober and, accidents happen. Not everybody's drunk that gets into a car accident, but a lot of these are alcohol related. All right, so let's get into some golf picks here. PGA Tour resumes. We got 3 more tournaments. We got another major around the corner with the PGA Championship, so we're sort of buying time. This is a good field, Brady. So looking at these tournaments, they're not going to play in one of them. Was in Philadelphia or something a week before. So is this like the last one that they're all going to sort of be in? Because you got a pretty good field here. Got Scheffler, Spieth. Not everybody's here, but what's the importance of this tournament for the players?
Well, it's the generational hero, Byron Nelson, the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. And it used to be really a big time deal. I mean, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, all these guys. And especially when Byron Nelson was still alive, he'd sit out there and greet every player at the first tee. Freddie Couples, Tiger Woods, they all won this thing. It's dropped off quite a bit. But Scheffler, some of the local Texans, like you mentioned, Scheffler and Spieth, they're here. After that, it drops off quite a bit. But from a betting standpoint, there's a ton of value on some really good players. Like, Scheffler's 3-1. His price is crazy. Spieth's about 20-1. After that, the next closest guy that made my card was better than 50-1. There's a lot of good players that are going to be 50, 60, 80, 100-1. If it's not Scheffler this week, I think you're going to get a long bomb that wins it. But you're right. Next week, normally it would be the Wells Fargo Championship at Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. But 2 weeks from now, we're going to be playing the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. So they're moving what is now called the Truist Championship to Philadelphia. It'll be a golf course we're not familiar with. It will be a signature event, so you'll have all the big boys there, including Rory and Scotty and everybody else. And then we roll into Quail Hollow for the PGA. So this is kind of the last tune-up where you don't have all the studs here. But yeah, it used to be a big time deal because it's Byron Nelson, one of the big names in the game, arguably probably a top 10 player in the game of all time.
We always ask you about the biggest liability and the most bet players. I got to believe that Jordan Spieth is right at the top here. Unless I know Scheffler's popular, but I'm seeing a plus 280. And a lot of people are talking about the fact that it's in Texas. So are you buying or selling? Should I? And listen, it's 19. I see 19-1 right now, so it's a pretty good number if you like Spieth. What do you think about that?
I'd probably rather take Spieth than Scheffler. And Scheffler's number, I think, should be closer to 5-1. And he might go out here and just lap the field. We haven't seen the Scotty Scheffler of 2023 and 2024 show up yet this season, but it's possible. I mean, he's obviously the best player in the world. He's clearly the best player by a long ways in this field. Spieth tends to show up and really play well in his home state of Texas. I could see him getting it done as well. But you talk about at BetMGM, highest ticket count, Scotty Scheffler, number 1, Jordan Spieth, number 2, Jake Knapp, number 3. Biggest, I know, biggest liabilities, Scheffler, Knapp, number 2, Spieth, number 3. And like I was talking about with these long shots, guys, all the, guys that were like 60, 70, 80, 100-1 were the guys that jumped off the page to me this week. And I was like, I got to come up with somebody shorter than that. Somebody that I figure and the odds makers figure has a better chance than that. And the shortest I could find was Jake Knapp, and I landed on Knapp at 55, and then I'm seeing all these reports come out that everybody in the whole world's on Jake Knapp. I'm going, oh, no, here we go. So he's probably my least favorite pick, but yeah, myself and the whole world and Cam, we're all on Jake Knapp. He played great here last year, and I tell you what, guys, we may catch a little bit of a break here. Apparently, just some serious thunder showers fell there in the McKinney, Texas area, about 30 miles north of Dallas. You're going to have a very soft golf course on Thursday. And Knapp typically gets out to fast starts. We saw him shoot 59 to open things at the Cognizant earlier this year. He shot 2 straight rounds of 64 here at the Byron Nelson last year. I'm hoping that, he gets off to another great start and does well. But I hate the fact that I'm included with the majority there on Jake Knapp this week.
Also, Gabe, I think it's really important for people to know Scheffler is under 3-1 in a lot of areas, but his first round leader is either between 10 and 12. And, this could be the time where he comes out of the gate hot. He's been very close to being the first round leader, but hey, I would never take a guy that price. But think about the difference, the dichotomy between a plus 280 guy and 11-1. And by the way, a Canadian, Taylor Pendrith, won this tournament at, I think he was 70 to 80-1 in that range. He's a defending champion. So a bomb can win here.
And looking at Taylor Moore, I see Brady ranked second in total strokes gained, 12th in strokes gained, tee to green, 22nd in strokes gained, putting in the field. So all the numbers are there, and you're getting a pretty nice number. And I don't know anything about this guy, but I see he's kind of a trendy long shot this week as well. But Isaiah Salinda, Brady and Cam, what do you think about Brady and this Salinda dude?
Playing good.
Yeah, he's a hot name right now and played well last week at the team event in New Orleans as well. He can fill up and make a lot of. Yeah, exactly. You want guys that can make birdies this week. You mentioned Taylor Moore, Jake Knapp. These guys rank very high in this field for making birdies, and they do very well off the tee. That's exactly what Taylor Moore does. He's 12th in this field the last 24 rounds in strokes gained off the tee, and he's 6th in birdies or better gained. So that's a pretty good formula to start with. Rip it off the tee, set yourself up, and make birdies. Taylor Moore and Jake Knapp were the 2 shortest shots I took. And then I went with all bombs, guys. Rico Hoey at 80-1. Joel Damon, who nearly pulled it off a couple weeks ago. I'm thinking he can bounce back here and possibly contend again. Got him at 100-1. Lee Hodges at 100-1. And I know you'll like this one, Cam. Matty Schmidt at 150-1. Yeah, I mean, I thought that price was way too high on a guy that makes a ton of sense this week. So, we'll see. Like Cam said, Gabe, it's probably going to be Scheffler or Spieth or somebody that's in the 70 to 125-1 area.
For sure. And another thing I like that Moore pick a lot. Gabe, and Brady, I'm looking at guys like Alejandro Tosti. He should be 55, 60. They're putting him at 90 because Scheffler's in this event. It changes everything. Him and Spieth are at the top, and then you're getting guys. All the guys over like 40 or 50 are inflated. Like that's the thing. Like my first guy is Steven Jaeger, and he plays really well at this course, even though he's let me down on Sundays. Like, and Brady, I'm going back to Ben Griffin. He won the team event. He has confidence right now, and I believe you can roll it in for another week. And Thor Bjornsson and Phillips finished 4th in the team event. I'm getting this guy at 100-1. Got to play him.
There's like 30 names, 30, 40 guys out there that are in that 50 to 100-1 range that are all really good players, and any of them could win this week.
Brady, before we get you out of here, we got about less than a minute left. NFL draft, there's always the overreaction to winners and losers of the draft, but the draft can give you an insight to what the team's sort of desire is. Are they building or they want to win now? What's your quick takeaway from the draft? Any team that you came away from saying, you know what, I like the direction they're going in?
I really hope the Giants give Brian Dable a fair shake. I think they did a great job with the draft. That defensive line, on paper anyway, right now looks outstanding. I hope they win a few games, and this guy's given a couple years to make this thing work. I think he's a good coach, and I like the draft that they had. I think the Patriots did a great job in giving Drake May some protection and some weapons. I think Vrabel's got a good thing going there. My San Francisco 49ers, I think they're invested in stopping the run this year on defense, guys.
Brady Cannon.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. Always awesome with Brady Cannon. We got Paul Bovey ready to step up and in to do this thing. Just quickly, NFL draft. Like I said, there's teams that do a nice job, and it's like, wow, they didn't really have a nice draft. But it doesn't mean they're going to be good in the upcoming year. It means they'll be good in 3 years or whatnot, right? But there's some teams that are sort of right there, and, you know, but they need help to get over the top. And to me, I really like, as far as an instant impact is concerned, and the division they play in sucks as well, is the Atlanta Falcons. All right, I think Penix will be good, like with a full year of actually playing. Jalen Walker is a monster. He's just another one of these Georgia Bulldogs, 6'1", 243 pounds. He's as they call him, he's a people mover. Like he moves, you know what I mean? He's just you see what these Georgia players are like. The guy's a monster. He's a beast. He's a great pickup. And then, and it should be noted, the Falcons haven't had a double-digit sack player on their team since Vic Beasley. It's a little while. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like 2018 or something like that. The last time they had somebody that had 10 or more sacks on their team. And then they trade back up. Now, you can argue, oh, they traded back up and blah, blah. Who cares? The Falcons need to win now. So they traded, they got back in the first round, and they got my guy James Pierce that I like out of Tennessee, 17 sacks with the Vols. I'll tell you what, Xavier Watts is one of the best safeties in college football out of Notre Dame. This kid is a game changer. Notre Dame's defense wasn't the same when he wasn't on the field. Round 4, Billy Bowman, safety, Oklahoma. We bring in Paul Bovey. We'll talk basketball with Paul mostly, but I'll just say, guys, in the past years, the Falcons would be like, give us another wide receiver. You already have 6 of them. Give us another quarterback. You already have now you see defense. I think the offense will be able to move the ball like what the Falcons did. Let's bring in Paul Bovey right now. Yeah. What's going on, Paul? How you doing?
Paul.
Oh, well, I'm in Vegas. I left Detroit. I was actually going to wait around for a Game 6 in Detroit, but when the Pistons blew that game on Sunday, I made my way to Las Vegas, Sin City, and here we are, Game 6. I had tickets, and they're up on Ticketmaster right now. So I'll have to take it in from afar, and I think it's going to be a tough game for the Knicks, and this just may be pointed to a 7th game. In fact, there may be 2 7-game series here on Saturday. The NBA is probably very gleeful at this point to have that going and compete with the Kentucky Derby.
Now, listen, you remember, Paul, I told you before the series started that my bet was the Detroit Pistons plus 2.5 games. And I know you liked it. You agreed at the time. It was, close games, but we get there. We cash that bet. But so these teams have played. We talked about it a bit last night. I don't know if you know the number, Paul, but they played 20 quarters in this series. How many quarters did the Pistons won? 15 of them? 16? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Knicks are up 3-2, but, you can argue, man, the Pistons are right there. I think the Knicks are going to survive, Paul. I don't know what it is. Teams at home seem to get nervous, and I can sort of see the Knicks pulling out a close one. But with all that being stated, in the overall body of work, it's not like the Knicks are out playing the Pistons in this series.
Look, one of the challenging aspects of being a gambler is you have to divest your fanhood, your preferences, your biases from your wallet. And I will say, as a student of chance, of the games of chance, that these teams are evenly matched. And you can make an argument that the Pistons have been the superior team. I mean, short of that 21-0 run, everything has been just pretty much a stalemate. And we know that the Pistons went from a 98-90 lead to a 111-98 deficit, and the Knicks went on to win that game. But this is a tough series, but I will make a proclamation right now that if this does go to a 7th game, there is no way the Knicks are going to go back-to-back years blowing a 7th game in Madison Square Garden. They will find a way to prevail, and I'm sure the NBA may provide some divine intervention because they're going to want the New York team. They're about to lose the Lakers, and that's not going to be good. And they're going to want the Knicks going against the Celtics, and that's going to be a very compelling series.
From a basketball standpoint, it could be a very intriguing NBA playoffs as we move forward. But as you just stated, Paul, imagine from a rating, from an NBA, from a Madison Avenue perspective, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, Minnesota. You know what I mean? It's like, Indiana, Indianapolis. Yeah. It's like, oh, God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what it is about the Boston Celtics, but they're just boring. And people don't like watching the Boston Celtics. Like, the Celtics, weird. because the Celtics have good players, right? And they shoot a bunch of threes, but Boston games do not get good ratings. Like, people don't like watching the Boston Celtics. But I'm just thinking about all these teams from, these other markets that are doing well. So you said the Lakers are going to get eliminated here, Paul. Do they get eliminated tonight? I actually took a piece of the T-Wolves money line tonight, thinking that it could happen.
Well, I checked out when the show started, but it looked like the Lakers were up against it. They were down by 12 points. And by the way, as far as the Celtics go, you can kind of make an analogy with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Celtics are people are tired of them. But I do not think they're going to get by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't. Cleveland is the best three-point shooting team in the league, or if not, they're number 2. And this is the Celtics' strength. The way Boston beats you is that they dominate conversions from beyond the arc, but they're not going to get away with that against the Cavaliers. And they match up well. They brought over a defender in Mobley, and I think that Cleveland gets the best of them. So, again, you're right, and I think that NBA needs ratings. Lakers go, Knicks in. They won't blow that 7th game, so they may not end it in Detroit, but they'll end it at home in New York.
More with Paul Bovey on the other side. The Pistons are 1.5-point favorites, total 213 right now. We'll get into the Nuggets, Clippers, Rockets, Warriors, Pacers, Cavs series, and more.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's do this thing. SportsRage, quickest 120 minutes in sports talk and television continues. Lakers chipping away. It's 34-30 right now for the T-Wolves. 9.5 left in the first half. NHL update right now. The Washington Capitals have advanced. They're going to play the Canes. We'll get you a series price in a couple of minutes for that. The Tampa Bay Lightning are eliminated. The Panthers await the winner of the Senators and the Maple Leaf series. And we got a 2-1 hockey game right now. Remember, the total was 7.5. It's actually slowed down a little bit. No one scored. 6.5 right now. Over 6.5 minus 145. Under 6.5 plus 115. You guys, it's my inclination more to lean to the unders in games. This is not an elimination game, but this is the win. You got to win this game to win the series game. And right on cue as I say this, let's see what's going on here. As still 2-1 right now. Second period just got started. It's always dangerous early in these periods. Paul Bovey with us. So Paul, we get back to the NBA, but you are a New York Football Giant fan as well as whoever you have your money on a weekly basis. But the New York Giants, listen, they've been a clown show. And, after the Barkley stuff, you let Barkley go. You pay Daniel Jones. There's been one debacle after another. They didn't draft Micah Parsons because they were worried about character concerns, and they took Kadarius Toney instead. How'd that work out, right? Like, everything they do is stupid and wrong. Fans hate them. Like, kids go to Giant games, and they're like, my father forces me to come, or my grandfather was a season ticket holder. Like, no one has fun. It's a miserable place to go.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have the worst home record in football. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love going to Yankee Stadium. I really look back on those days, taking that train to 161st Street. But I won't go to the what do you call it? Giant Stadium, Meadowlands, whatever. I went once, and I have season tickets. And I vowed never to go again. That's it.
You have season tickets, and you're never going back. You're like, I'm never going back again.
Yeah. We still
did
have.
Did you go to the Super Bowl when it was there? Did you go to the Super Bowl?
No, I did not. The last Super Bowl I actually went to, and I've been to about 12, was unfortunately, the Giants and the Ravens. And it's something I want to forget. And the other thing I want to forget about the Giants is the fact that I selected the Colts when they were playing the Giants.
Oh, yeah. The Survivor. Yeah, all games.
The Giants right now, the Giants are not – I'm
sorry I brouort them up. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, Paul, what do you think of the Giants draft? He's like,
okay. So let me comment on the draft. We know Jackson Dart is a wild card, but we also know that these quarterbacks going in the later rounds sometimes pan out. And I'll cite Brock Purdy, but there are plenty of others, Tom Brady along the way, and first rounders oftentimes are a bust. But they did get Carter. They picked up a couple good players, but the Giants' problem has always been over the last several years, and it's been the reason why Barkley never really got off is the offensive line. And that's what needed to be rectified. They have had injuries and poor protection. And I think that was the catalyst for Daniel Jones' downfall.
I can't disagree. Listen, Jones has a lot of flaws, but the Giants' offensive line play has been subpar. But at least now there's a little credibility. Say what you will about Russell Wilson, but you got Russell Wilson. You got Dart in the quarterback room. Winston, well, whatever. I don't know why Winston's there, to be honest with you, at this point. But at least, you know what I mean? There's a reason for people to go to the games, at least right now. We'll put it that way.
To start, I don't want Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson he's not a vertical passer. He's a horizontal passer. He throws the ball 3 yards down the field at best. At least, Winston, you have a shot. It's feast or famine, and maybe you'll get some feast, and maybe you'll get more feast than famine. That's the way I look at it.
I was actually always a pro Winston guy over the years, even when he threw all the interceptions. I said, yeah, he throws 2 or 3 interceptions, but he also throws 2 or 3 touchdown passes, right? So, like some quarterbacks only throw the interceptions without the touchdowns. Like, right. That's the thing with Winston. I get it, but if you're the Giants, you really, ideally, you get Dart in there eventually, and you start to move forward.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro baseball today. Only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, everybody else in between. Kentucky Derby this weekend. And Paul Bovey, of course, loves to play the matchup. So follow him on X, and he always posts a couple of matchup plays before post time for the Kentucky Derby. We'll get to this a little bit later on. We'll get the odds up and everything because Paul is still waiting for the matchups to be released from the sports books. I'm just rolling through here right now. What race is it on Saturday?
12, I think.
Is it 10?
I think it's 12. It's usually at the end, the second last
like
race.
20 horses in there.
It's the second to last one, isn't it?
Yes, it's always the second.
You
to
say
last
12? No, Churchill Downs. Is it 9? Where the hell is this?
Churchill Downs.
It's confusing
Saturday,
on me.
Race. I think it's race 12. I mean, I'll figure this out.
No. Churchill Downs, let's see, race 12. No, it isn't race 12.
11?
It's not 11 either. This is why I'm like, what the hell? So I'll figure this out. We'll get the odds up anyways. Like I said, Paul he's not ready for we don't have the matchups up right now. But it's the one thing, guys, man, with these with horse racing, man, it's like, even every year, I become just a weekend warrior, Paul. Cam will bet like the Australian stuff at nighttime, and I really just now with horse racing, I used to go to the OTB every day in my earlier degenerate days and just get drunk all day at the OTB. But now, man, when I go on these sites, it's like, dear God, it takes me forever to get my bet in. I'm like, trifecta, exacta, this page, that page. Very, very confusing, and especially it confuses casual sports.
I know guys like you. Like when I used to bet at Windows, which I never do anymore, you go up to a line.
I mean, guys like me.
Hog the machine up, and they think it's the toilet bowl that they can sit there for 20 minutes, and you're behind.
No, I never did that. I never did. I didn't say I did that. I wasn't a line linger.
Yeah, settle down there, Paul.
I said I was drinking.
By the way,
I said I was drinking. Yeah, what do you mean, guys like me? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I don't
know. I'm just giving you
guys like you.
I got to pick on you a little bit. I haven't anything yet. Come on.
No, it's all good.
Race 12.
I literally nearly got killed once at the Stratosphere, Paul. It was Super Bowl Sunday morning, And it was exactly what you were talking about. There were people like counting change, putting parlays in, literally. Like 5, you know what I mean? And like, it was people putting their parlays together at the window and whatever. I had a few, and finally I just lost my patience. And I said, yo, bro, would you hurry the F up? Do you want me to make the bet for you if you don't know what the F you're doing? I didn't realize who it was. I turn around, man. It's this big Samoan dude. Like,
big mistake.
and he's like, what? Who said that? Everyone kind of like backed off and looked at me. And he just came up to me and he goes, you're dead. I'm going to effing kill you. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I mouthed off the wrong people here. And I look over and he's pointing at me and he's with his buddies. They all look like they just got out of jail. Like they're massive dudes. And I never forget, I was meeting people there and I called them and I told them, yeah, don't meet me here. I got to sneak out the back door. I'm about to get killed. And they're like, no, man up. You'll be fine. We're on our way. And don't worry about it. I'm like, don't worry about it. I said, trust me. I'm worried about it. This isn't good. But you know, funny, Paul, I bet so much that I had like a book of drink tickets because I used to know them there. They basically gave me the book instead of drink tickets. The girl was like, hey, here. Like, so I literally had like 100 drink tickets. I went up to the guy and I said, hey, listen, I'm a little stressed out about the game. And I said, I apologize. And I said, here's like 25 drinks on me, bro. I gave him like a stack of tickets. I said, for you and your boys. Like I said, here's like 25. And he goes, we were just talking about you. He goes, man, we were laughing about how ballsy you were. Like, no one ever mouthed off to me like that. And I was just deciding whether I was going to kill you or not. And he goes, but you're all right. And it was funny. He goes, but then funny, he goes, who did you bet on, though? And I tell him San Francisco, and they all high-five me. Yeah. Hey, let's go Niners. I was like, thank God. And lo and behold, later, I saw those guys throwing chairs at people after the game. It was the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl.
Power outage.
Yeah, dude, Niner fans are worse than Raider fans in real life. Like, these guys, like,
fans,
you know what I mean, Paul? Like, they lost, bro, and a couple of like tourists from Maryland mouthed off. They got beat up, bro, right in the middle of the Strat. Like, the people that started throwing chairs and bottles at them and stuff. Like, and you know the Strat's a rough crowd too. Like, it's a rougher. Like, there's people with pieces, and like, it's you better watch your mouth in that place. Like at the sports book. All right, so it's 49-43 for Minnesota right now. All right, Paul, let's get a couple of picks on the way out from you here. Actually, we got time. Well, we got minutes. So Knicks Pistons, you're not really sure what happens tomorrow. What's your gut feel though for tomorrow in Detroit? We're going 7 games, yes or no?
Listen, there's no way to play coin flip games unless you're getting points. So there's no points to be had here. I had Detroit last night, and my strategy, I played them in the first quarter. I got a cover and actually backed it up with the Knicks money line, hit them both. But I said, if this game goes to 8, I'm piling in. At 7, I came in with a little more, but I took 6 and I took 5.5. There's no points here. It's a coin flip. These teams have just been going back and forth. Sit back, live wagering. If you can get strike and get maybe one of these two at a +5, I would come in, because you got to figure it's going to be another tight one, another nail biter, and there's a good chance it heads to New York on Saturday.
I picked the Clippers to beat the Nuggets before the series started. A little bit of buyer's remorse right now because I'm not sure. I don't think they can win 2 games in a row. I took the Nuggets last night. To me, it's just, guys, I don't understand. Like last night, the Clippers were road favorites. Now they're 6.5 point, they're 6.5 point home favorites. Hell, Paul, they're going to be up against it to win the damn game. Like, can you trust the Clippers laying 6.5 here? Or like,
Yes,
what's your take on this one tomorrow? Do you? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Look, 3 games have been decided by 3 or less. Specifically, 1 by the tray and 2 by a deuce. 2 of them have went the way of the Nuggets.
That's true. That stupid dunk at the end, huh? Boy, the series would be completely different.
Cost me because I had Clipper money line at -1/4. But anyway, these things, you know how the NBA works, and you know how breaks, they balance out in the end. Bottom line is, what I'm going to say here is that last night, Jamal Murray comes into the game 9-24 from beyond the arc, goes 8-14. There's nothing you can do about that. The Clippers outscored them in the paint 62-46. So they were more dominant inside. I'm going to go with the Clippers to level it out. And game 7, who knows what happens. Now, we all know game 7s generally go to the home team, but I'm not throwing in the towel on the Clippers just yet. Jamal Murray goes off. As I said, nothing you could do about that. A guy gets hot. This guy was in the zone. So I'm going Clippers tomorrow night. Would I lay 6.5? Absolutely not. If you can whittle this down to 3 by way of live wagering, that's where I'd go.
The totals are getting here. The total's 212 in this game. Have you been betting the over-unders in this series?
I haven't, but it's going to be a little steep on a Clipper team total. I did have the team total over in that Gordon dunk game, which would have eclipsed the 204, the 104, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll wrap up with Paul Povey on the other side. Let's roll.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Paul Povey kicking it was Cam Stewart in the house. Sirius XM Channel 159, 53-43 for the T-Wolves, 2:15 left in the first half. All right, we'll get back to the NBA. I look forward to Paul's takes on the Pacers series with the Cavaliers. But you said you're in Vegas right now, Paul. I see a lot of videos of an empty Las Vegas.
Yes.
You know, various reasons as to why people aren't going right now. I hear it really shows midweek, though, weekend, people come up from California every weekend. That's never going to change. It is what it is. But I really hear from people that are working in the industry, in the service industries there, that it's midweek that you really realize how quiet it is in Vegas. What's it like? Because I've seen videos of the airport being empty and hotels are cheap right now. You're a global traveler. Give us the 411 on Vegas right now, Paul?
I'll give you the 411 because I stay at a specific hotel close to the convention center. This is the lowest price I have paid for 7 days, and it's straight through, same rate. Sometimes the rate jumps up on Friday or Saturday. No, it flatlined all the way through at $159, and I've paid as much as $400 here. Today,
wow.
I had to go to AT&T. Okay, so my navigation directs me, and it's in the mall. I walk in the mall. I'm telling you, it looked like it was COVID. I took pictures of it in one direction.
Yeah, it's like the COVID era. Exactly. Yeah.
There was absolutely nobody in this mall. It was just, if I dropped a nickel, it would have resonated through the whole.
There's a nickel.
Wait. Ding, ding. You would have heard it.
Yeah.
That's the best.
I'm serious.
No,
have you gone into any casinos at all? Have you gone into any casino floors at all this week?
I only went into the Westgate. I sat in one of the VIP areas. I was me, myself, and I, and that's it. There was very few people in there. And I watched the Knick game, and I watched the Pacer Buck game, and it was extremely quiet. Although the bar area was decent. The food court was decent. But as far as the casino, not much. I really didn't get into the main part of the casino because I stayed in the book. But the mall was scary. And I said, how could any retail establishment stay in business here? It's impossible.
It really is. It's sad, actually, but it's going to continue too. It's not like this is just a sort of foretelling of what's to come over the next couple of months. All right, Paul. So looking at the Warriors just rolled over tonight. This has been a very spirited series as far as them pushing each other, talking, and getting after it. Got to believe the Warriors, it's almost like tennis. Someone wins on the serve, the other one wins on the serve. I'd be surprised if the Warriors don't finish them off in the next game. They open up as 5-point favorites right now.
That's too many points. And I'll tell you why. First game, 95-85. Maybe it was a little bit of deer in the headlights effect. Okay. But Houston has had the lead in two of those losses late. So they could compete with this team. 109, 106 the other day before the blowout tonight. And I do believe that it's going to be a closer game. I'm surprised it opened 5 because I would have looked towards more like a 4. So I'm not sold on the Warriors just crushing them. And I think it's going to be, I'm not going to say the Warriors are going to lose, but I think Houston has found their stride here. And they have more confidence than what they came in the series with.
I like this Indianapolis Pacers team. I think they're fun. They put points up on the board. I think if they played Boston, they would match up well with Boston and just sort of trade threes and trade points with them. I don't think they match up well with the physicality of the Cleveland Cavaliers, though. The Cavaliers are 5-1 on the series price, minus 500. Pacers are plus 375. And then we get into game one. Game one is Saturday. So we got the Pacers and Cavaliers on Saturday. Cavaliers 8-point favorites, Paul. Total 229.5. What are you expecting in this series?
All right, so 5-1 is just too steep, and I'll tell you why. The Pacers snapped the Cavaliers' 12-game winning streak early on, and it was no fluke. It was a 108-93 win, and they went on a 32-7 run and just overtook the Cavaliers. Everybody played, so it was a very relevant game. The next game, the Cavaliers 127 117. It was basically tied at half point. There was a 1-point differential, and no Halliburton in the lineup. The other two games, they don't factor in because there were a lot of players that just missed the game. But I just have to lean on those two games and say, hey, Indiana has been able to compete. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the series. I'm merely saying that you're paying a steep price to assume that the Cleveland Cavaliers are just going to blow by the Pacers and get to the finals. I would say I like this Indiana team, and I think they're going to hang around. I don't know how many games they're going to win. I don't know if they're going to win any, but it's just too much to lay with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I do think will end up in the finals. They'll beat Boston.
What's your pick, Cam? Pacers or Cavaliers in the series?
Cavaliers in 6.
The Pacers are plus 2.5. And, Paul, I hit that plus 2.5 in with the Pistons. I think the Pacers have 2 wins in them here. As you stated, they match up well. They know each other very well, right? And the Pacers can score, right? You know what I mean? I think, I tell you what, Luka Doncic is leaving the floor early here right now. Now, there's only a minute left in the first half here, so we'll try to figure out what's going on here on the other side as we're coming up against it. But I'm in both. Actually, hang on, Paul. I just want your LeBron take, and we'll get you out of here. We only got like a 2-minute on the side.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum in the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We promise we're going to let Paul go and walk the empty strip tonight in Las Vegas. Pacers plus 3.5 minus 600. Cavaliers. So Cavaliers sweep is plus 375. I don't think they're going to sweep them. Cavaliers minus 1.5 in the series is minus 210. Pacers plus 2.5 in the series minus 140. So, and on the other side, we'll get you a series price for the new hockey series that we have lined up. For the record, the Jets are up 3-2 right now, late in the second period of play in a pivotal game, series tied at 2, 3-2 Winnipeg. right now. We've gone to the half. Luka Doncic went to the room a minute early with a minute left in the first half, holding his back. So he's got some back pain right now. We'll see what happens here in the second half. It's 59-49 right now. T-Wolves up 10 at the break. T-Wolves are minus 4.5 in game, 215.5. In the old days, would say second half line is this, but now it's just all in game. 4.5 right now, 215.5. So, Paul, we'll get you out of here. You talk a lot about LeBron James. Luka Doncic is now, some of the weaknesses of Luka has been exposed in this series a little bit. His lack of effort on defense. It's just basically it. It's like, this is the playoffs. There's got to be a next level to this. You know, and the thing is, it's weird. He's going to give you 30, so you can't really complain, right? You know what I'm saying? But you keep your eye on the plus minus. Let me check in with the plus minus tonight, Paul. But what's your take on the Lakers situation right now? And JJ Redick playing his bench for the entire second half, kind of indicative of what they think about their roster after LeBron and Luka.
The Lakers have problems, and it started with the center position. And you make a point about Luka. Luka, I think, has been playing better defense, but he's still stuck in exactly what we spoke about during the break, and he's worried too much about the officials. And there's a sense of entitlement that's pervasive around the NBA, where when a player goes to the rack and they miss, they don't get a call. They throw their arms in the air, and Karl Anthony Towns does it. Luka does it. There's a number of other players that do it. And unfortunately, at times, Luka is just stuck, and he languishes back on defense, and that it's costly to his team. Now, he's capable of playing defense, and at times he's played rigid defense. He really has.
You're right. I've seen him.
Yeah. So I think it's a habit that he has to try to break, or somebody has to help him break. But that's unacceptable. Get back on defense. Worry about the referees. Let them do their job. And that's not going to endear him to the refs either, because they don't like to be shown up. And we've all read books behind the scenes where referees try to get revenge against certain players because of this kind of thing. And I don't think they like when LeBron, baits them into these calls. We all know about LeBron's flopping, since you brought up the King. And I have respect for his game. I do. I have respect for his game and his longevity and what he's accomplished, but we all know what he does when it comes to flopping.
One thing I'll say, and we got about a minute here, I'll say, Paul, and we saw this past weekend, the referees have really put the whistles in the pocket for the most part, right? But so they let the teams beat each other up. But then I noticed, like, when the Laker game came on over the weekend, suddenly they were calling everything. And that's when I remembered, oh, yeah, they don't want Minnesota to win this series. So suddenly they're tightening things up. That's their way of doing it, right? I know you know Tim better than anybody. And that's how he told me, because I said, so what's the deal? It's not like they tell you. Like, Stern didn't call you guys and say, listen, Sacramento can't win. He goes, no, they call you in the morning and they tell you what to look for, and you understand it. Exactly. Right? Yeah. Hey, you know what? Minnesota's really, really grabbing LeBron a lot. Why don't you watch out for that? All right. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they spell it out for you. And if you don't go along with it, it's like not listening to your boss, guys. It'll work. All right, don't go along with it. You'll never work a playoff game, all right? You want to work T-Wolf and Sacramento games in the regular season all year? Have fun. Don't listen to us. It's like the NFL guy told me, for the head of the NFL ref school. I asked him, I said, what happens if you're a referee and you don't agree with the replay? And the head office tells you, yeah, it's a touchdown when it isn't. Can you disagree? He goes, yeah, you can, but you'll get fired. He's gone.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the Pittsburgh Players, the Hustlers, the people to bust them. Everybody else in between. Ian Cameron, A.K. Babano, will join us in a couple of moments. We brought up the Derby briefly with Paul Bovey, and Paul wasn't really ready to go. He's a last-minute type of guy. Listen, Paul's one of these people, and I respect it. He's not going to throw something out that he doesn't own. And Paul's worried about, race 12 at Belmont in the morning tomorrow. He's not thinking, about the Derby right now. That's so far away. And the matchups aren't out yet. So I haven't seen any matchups. If somebody knows where the matchups are up, let us know. And I'd like to take a look at them and get in. And also, the other tough thing with matchups, and this is one thing when Paul posts these matchups often, not every book has the same matchup, Kim. Right?
Exactly.
The same with golf, you see, right? Bet365 with golf are evil with matchups. They always make it hard. They always put the same guys. Scheffler versus Rory. It's like, come on, man. Give me something I can use here.
Don't they have to? It's like they know me. They'll have guys that I bet on against each other. I'm like, really? And this is what you're doing?
The worst.
It's almost like it's like the guy's living in my house. He's watching me make my picks. Go, oh, I know Cam's a sucker for this tool. I'll put these guys, and the other guy likes against him. So
it's frustrating.
Paul, it's very frustrating. But to your point, I'm the same way with Paul. There's going to be many rakes. The Kentucky Oaks is going to be on Friday. I have put one Derby pick in, Gabe, and it's just because of our old buddy Brian Blessing and connections in the race. I really like that 18 horse, Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado, Sovereignty. He's at about 6-1. 5-1 now. And one of my offshores, he was 6. And I lock it in, and I think he's a very, very dangerous horse. It's a deep post position, but I'd rather be at 18 than 20. A lot of people like Sandman, the 17.
Yeah, I don't. I like the Sovereignty. I like the pick there. I don't like the 18. I don't like the post position at all. And tomorrow and Friday, whatever, we'll get more into the Derby. We'll go over the track, the history of the post positions.
Yes.
It's not good from this far outside. It's not easy.
You're right, Gabe. But the one thing that's different about this race, we talk about speed fractions. And the good thing is it's going to be not a lot of speed. Sovereignty's a horse that is a stone-cold closer. He loves from running off the pace. And if he doesn't have any traffic problems, he'll come out the outside and blast people down the stretch. Journalism is a very justified favorite at 3-1. That horse has done very well. But Sovereignty actually, if the race is slow, it's a big advantage to this horse because he's the best closer of the lot.
The fifth post position has resulted in the most wins in the Kentucky Derby, with 10 horses winning from the 5 slot. No horse has ever won from the 17 post.
Yeah.
Though horses have won in the 18, 19, and 20s in the past, yet not a lot. I want to dig into this a little bit. Listen, one of the reasons for me, I like Sovereignty, I'm keeping it simple here, is I've had a really good track record over the years and of just betting whoever wins the Florida Derby. That's been my thing. It goes back. It's like a personal thing. I'll bet some other horses, but whoever wins the Florida Derby, and the Florida Derby, guys, because you have all these races, the Arkansas Derby, Louisiana Derby, whatever, the Virginia Stakes and whatever. I laughed actually about that. I'm looking at they were like the Virginia Stakes. I'm like, Virginia Derby winner. I don't even know what Virginia Derby. I didn't know that was one of the derbies, Cam, to make it. Well, I know the Arkansas Derby, the Oaks, the Santa Anita,
Louisiana,
the Florida Derby, the Louisiana Derby. Like, there's a bunch of derbies, guys, that you get into you got to get to the Kentucky Derby through. I didn't know about Virginia. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. They must have bought through because it was winner of Virginia Derby. I'm like, I know horse racing. There ain't no special it's not what Virginia, but Sovereignty finished. You know what happened though this year, guys, is the winner of the Florida Derby is a scratch for the Kentucky Derby this year. Tappan Street won the Florida Derby. Was going to be one of the favorites here in the Kentucky Derby, but has got a right hoof problem. So Sovereignty is who finished second to him in the Florida Derby. So it's the next best thing for me. All right, let's bring in Ian Cameron right now. We're at the half or we're at the intermission right now. Winnipeg Jets lead the St. Louis Blues 4-2. Ian Cameron in the house. And Babano, a lot of talk about Connor Hellebuck. On the road, 1-8 in his last 9 playoff starts. He's been pulled in 3 straight playoff games. It's been a train wreck when he goes on the road. But at home, the Jets have been much better. They needed this game tonight. You know, they couldn't go back to St. Louis down 3-2 because of the unknowns of what's going to happen on the road. But I'm going to be a positive person here when it comes to the Jets and say, all right, handle your business tonight and then go finish it off, actually, and don't let it go 7. Do you think the Blues come back tonight? Do you think it goes 6, 7 games? What do you think happens in this series, Babano?
Yeah, he hasn't been that great tonight either. I mean, that second goal, that can't go in, period. That can't go in. It's a horrible goal that he allowed, that second goal that St. Louis scored by Snuggerud. That just can't go in the net. I mean, it was right under his glove, right along the ice. It's a bad goal. It's not like St. Louis has had a ton of shots. They had one shot, in that second period for most of it, and it's the goal by Snuggerud. But the good news for Hellebuck is his team is playing a great game. The offense has come to life. They're scoring goals. They're carrying the play. They're in the St. Louis zone most of this game. But there are still some real concerns about Connor Hellebuck. I think they're going to win tonight. They're playing a really great team game. They're not giving up much to St. Louis, but I think it's going 7. I think the Blues will win at home, and we'll go to game 7.
Cam, I picked the Jets in 6. I bet it. So I'm really hoping, you know what, I needed this tonight, and it sets me up. I say that they're going to finish them off in St. Louis after this. I know you thought the Blues would show up tonight. They're kind of in it, but they're down 2. Anything can happen here, but it doesn't look good for the Blues right now.
No, it doesn't. And I'll give Babano credit. He's right. Also, the Blues have had defensive breakdowns that they didn't really have at home. They look like a totally different team. And that's the one thing about the Jets. Their home ice advantage and their crowd, it's huge. And they're feasting off it. That game was tied, and they scored the last 2 goals. Gabe, I'm going to tell you this, though. To Babano's point, Hellebuck, it was still shaky. He's been lucky on a couple, too. He's out of position. I think the Jets probably find a way to win tonight, Blues. And then game 7, it's up in the air. But Winnipeg has a distinctive home ice advantage. They've been fantastic at home. So I'm thinking probably Jets in 7.
I agree.
I'm going to hold my ground. Jets in 6.
Stand your ground.
You got to hope Connor Hellebuck finally has a good road performance for the first time in eons, because that's how long it's been. Eons.
Yeah, no,
Since we
you know
saw
what,
one.
Ben? I don't know if it's going to happen. I got to hope that somehow that the Jets just score 3 goals in the first 5 shots or something like that. What does it pay, actually? So it's plus 400. Listen, if it gets to 6, I haven't hedged any of these things. I've lost one of them or 2 of them already. I won the Canes exact prediction in 5. I got to win at least 2 of them to break even, and then 3, whatever, to get into the profit. But I'm set up in a couple of them. If the Jets can win tonight, it sets me up. Jets in 6 at plus 400, and I got the Maple Leafs in 6 at plus 375, which leads us in tomorrow. I knew, Babano, that, and I haven't been right with every game. So, like, hell, I had the LA Kings last night. So I'm not like, oh, I knew I'm always right. But I knew last night the Senators were going to beat the Leafs. I knew the Leafs were going to feel it in Toronto. I called it the night before on the show. I said, the Sens score a couple early goals. That building will go silent fast. And all it took was 1 goal. And it might as well have been 11-0 and not 1-0. The fans, the Leafs, I don't blame the fans because the Leaf players were just as dead as the fans were. They took it like it looked like they thought it was an exhibition game. There was no intensity for the Leafs, but I'm expecting them to bounce back tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, if the Leafs don't win tomorrow, I say they lose in 7. So they better win tomorrow. Otherwise, I think they're getting eliminated. We'll get Babano's pick on the other side. But to me right now, and this is coming from someone that I got to own it, I picked the Leafs to win the Eastern Conference and win the Stanley Cup. But if they don't win tomorrow, they will choke. Like they're already choking a bit now as it is. Like they've got to win this game because all the pressure in the world will be on the Leafs going into a Game 7 on Saturday.
Yep.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum in the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the Pittsburgh players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, everybody else in between. All right, let's keep this thing rolling right now. So, Leafs and Senators tomorrow. So, we were on the Senators in the last game, plus 150. And now the Leafs are actually underdogs, plus 100. So, you're getting plus money here, even money, plus 100 with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Total is 5.5. I think the Leafs are going to do it tomorrow. And if they don't do it tomorrow, they're going to lose in 7. So they better do it tomorrow. I say they do it tomorrow. What's your pick, Babano? Leafs and Senators tomorrow.
Well, you were saying what you had pre-series, and I have the same exact series result. I have Leafs in 6, something I bet at plus money. So I'm hoping it ends tomorrow too. But am I confident? Hell no. How can you be? I mean, you're talking about a team that's 1-13 in their last 14 closeout games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's hard to fathom. And the reason for these failures in these elimination games is
it's hard
the
to
core.
do. It's more than fathom. It's hard to lose. Like you figure, like 1 out of 13. Like, come on, guys. Like they're allergic to winning.
Yes. It's like Gabe, that guy in the parlay card. Like where you're like going like one. It's hard to be that bad, but the Leafs find a way to be that bad. And the thing about it is too, it's what you guys talked about. Their stars just need to show up. I'm not going to bury these guys or whatever, but you didn't score a goal on home ice. Like what do you want from Stolars and the defensive crew? It's on these offensive guys, and stop being so damn pretty. Like I looked at these other goals that the Jets are scoring. The Leafs screw around with it too much. Everything's like a magic show. Just shoot the puck at the net and get guys in front. It's not that hard.
No, it isn't. It's not hard at all. You've got to get Matthews. Matthews has 2 playoff goals in his last 15 playoff games.
He's
not good enough.
The problem is though, we sort of talked about it the other night. Like the Leafs have been better at it, but when they're not built to get in front of the net. They're not built to dump and chase, right? So suddenly in the playoffs, like, dump and chase and all this, and they lose a lot of the one-on-one battles because that's not what they do. You're almost better off just dying on your sword, like the Oilers. This is who we are, and you know what I mean? Outscore us. And, the Leafs, like, it's almost like Berube's trying to turn them into something they're not, kind of in a way. But, throw all that aside. Like, Matthews needs to step up, right? They're big players. I've said this for years about the Leafs because it's always the same crap with them. People that cover them. Oh, they need to get a tougher defenseman. They need a goalie. They need this. They need that. It's like, no. They need their top players to play well in big games, right? That's been their problem. Their role players have been fine over the years, and it's kind of an excuse. It's sort of like, in the NBA. Anytime a team loses, instead of people like questioning the star, it's like, oh, poor Giannis, they lost again. It's like they lose because Giannis gets coaches fired every 2 years, right? And he has input on the roster, and they keep getting worse the more you let him have input. Let's get Dame Lillard. Yeah, great idea, right? But anyways, Vegas and Minnesota tomorrow, another elimination game here. Final pick. So, I just want to be definitive of this, but Bano's pulling a Bob McKenzie with us. Well, this could happen. I want it to happen, but I don't know. Cam, what's your pick for Toronto or Ottawa?
Let's go to game 7 for me.
Yeah. All right, so you say Ottawa wins tomorrow. Okay.
I hope
it's hard to get an answer from you.
This guy, Leafs win game 6. We hit our series bets exactly. Leafs in 6, and if they lose this game, well, party's probably over. They win tomorrow.
Vegas is minus 165 favorite at Minnesota. Babano. Minnesota have been in these games. Hockey's a cruel sport. It is what it is. Vegas are very good at just sort of finding ways to win hockey games. And they have that championship pedigree. They got a lot of guys that have won games before and titles. They're a smart veteran hockey club. But should they be minus 165 road favorites? Who do you like tomorrow in this one?
I don't think so. I mean, Minnesota, if Ryan Hartman's goal is not offside and they have a 3-2 lead in the final minute of the third period the other night, they could have won that game. It gets called back, offside challenge.
It was literally like under 1/4 of a centimeter. Like what do you want from the guy's skate was still on the friggin' line, and then they challenge it. Vegas wins the challenge. And the minute they won the challenge,
you guys are sounding a little ifs, ands, and buts-ish to me. Sound a little excuse-like. They're losing.
Minnesota Wild are my new favorite team after the Leafs disappointment. At least they lose.
I know. I'm just saying they're losing. I know what you mean.
I love the Wild.
They lost in overtime. They lost a tough one in game 1. They lost in overtime last night.
I know, but it means they can lose another tough one. That's what happens to them. They always lose tough ones.
Value to me is on Minnesota. I think Minnesota can force it to 7.
Is Gustafson okay? I saw you had a health problem like in Vegas.
What's the problem, you guys? Yeah, what's happening with that guy? Yeah.
Fleury played great, though. Let's give Marc-Andre Fleury, the veteran of the league, all of the
in a tough spot.
He did great work. He came in there and did a good job.
Yeah.
The Dallas Stars are doing a great job on the Colorado Avalanche, and this series has been pretty crazy because the Avs are just they're heavily favored all the time. Like there's these big numbers. with the Avs. The Stars aren't getting a lot of respect from the odds maker. What's your pick for this one tomorrow, Babano? The Stars and the Avalanche.
Dallas wins the series, but not tomorrow night. Colorado lost in Game 6 at home to Dallas last year in the second round at home. They got knocked out by the Stars. I think Colorado will extend the series to 7, but I think Dallas is going to wrap it up in 7. Back at home.
Dallas Stars plus 150 tomorrow. Colorado Avalanche are minus 180. LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. Talk about a team right now. And listen, the Lakers are chipping away. The Lakers are down 5. So, but this building, you know, the Kings and the Lakers, same building, a lot of pressure right now. And normally, you know what I mean, there's only pressure on the Lakers and not down the hall like in the LA Kings part of the building. Suddenly there's pressure on the Kings. Dennis Bernstein does a great job covering. The dude who looks like Christopher Walken, it's on with Pharrell, covers the Kings and more.
He's amazing.
But he was saying that the Kings won't fire Hiller because they're kind of cheap. That they don't want to pay a coach. They want to pay 2 coaches.
They kept him as the permanent head coach in the first place because they're cheap.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Babano, because a lot of people are like, oh, he's got to get fired for this. I mean, bro, the challenge for the goal that led to, you know, the challenge and then led to the power play to the goal. You can't do that at that time of the game unless you're 1,000,000% certain. The constant letdowns in the third period. I mean, hell, the people are on them. Like King fans are upset. The media is upset. This could be the 4th year it could be the 4th year in a row they lose to the same team. Like heads are going to roll. They might fire him in my opinion, but I'm not so sure they're done yet. Can they win this game tomorrow?
Yeah.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Big night tonight for the Vancouver Whitecaps as they're off to the CONCACAF Champions game. And as I said it off the top of the show, you know, people are fans of certain sports and they're like, oh, I don't bet that, or, you know, I don't follow that, I don't bet this. And it's like, you know, the CFL. Oh, I don't bet on the CFL. Well, if one team is like 12-0 against the spread, or like the Rough Riders were like, 13-1 to the over for like, or 18-2 in 20 games or whatever. So you don't really have to know about it or watch it to bet on it and win. But I've been telling people, and our boy Fasano, and good to catch up with Fasano, old school, I miss you. I was telling people our boy Fasano, one of the hardcore Islander fans, actually like went and heckled Tavares in the parking lot when he came back and stuff.
That's
I like
awesome.
that.
I like the
Yeah,
style.
like Fasano's not playing around. So Fasano's probably cheering for the Ottawa Senators. He doesn't want to see Tavares succeed. Hockey fans are spiteful, but the Vancouver Whitecaps tonight win on the money line, plus 425. Wow. They didn't have to win the game because they were up 2-0 on the aggregate. So people are like, Miami are going to score a bunch of goals and they're not going to win. And dude, +4, they were plus 500, but sharp soccer bettors are like, that's crazy. I got plus 425. Vancouver win the game outright. And now tomorrow we'll eagerly have our eye on Cruz Azul and the Tigres, who go head-to-head. And if it's a 90-minute draw after 90, then Vancouver will host the CONCACAF Champions game, which would be like one of the biggest sporting events in Vancouver history. All the World Cup is coming to Vancouver next summer. This is big-time stuff, like to win this. This would be massive. And if you're missing out on it, man, it's cashing. And not to mention the Whitecaps are the best team in MLS. They played 10 games. They've lost once. And they're plus money almost all the time. Like soccer odds, even the favorites are plus money. So it's great stuff. What a great run for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Vancouver Warriors lacrosse team, too, into the semifinals. But I think they're going to be in tough against the legendary Buffalo Bandits. So the Bandits are a mainstay. That's the one team, Cam, from Buffalo that doesn't suck.
You're right.
It wins.
The Bandits are always good. Always good.
They've won
Like,
some
always-
titles. They've won.
Yes. They're always there. Like, they don't have rebuilding, like the Sabres and problems with the
And
Bills.
I'm a Bills
like,
fan, and I say suck, but we've never won. So, we won in the 60s.
No, the
but in the
Bandits
Super
are just
Bowl, we never won.
Successful sports franchise.
No, it's true. The Buffalo Bandits are like they're first place. They're the best team in the league. Like they're always right at the top.
Yep, I agree. They're fantastic.
All right, so Babano, you think the Avs bounce back tomorrow, huh? And then the Kings and Oilers. So we were talking about Hiller. Hey, listen, I don't know, like it's been a problem for him. Like he really, you could just tell. I don't like blaming coaches, but this coach is panicking. He's choking. He's playing his please lead. He's pulling a JJ Redick. It's like an LA thing.
He got into
the LA
it with
Kings and the LA Lakers. Yeah, Bernstein. Yeah, exactly. Bernstein's pushing them. But remember, like the Lakers played their starters for the entire second half. It's the first time ever in a playoff game in like whatever in the modern era that they didn't play it. When the LA Kings are playing like 13 people. Yeah. Same thing. The Kings are literally playing like 13 people, 9 forwards, 4 defensemen. It's like, all right, it's pretty insane. Like you said, Drew Doughty's 35, 36 years old or whatever it is now. I think it might even be 37. I think he's 35 actually. But what's your pick? Can the Kings win? Because I know you're on them, Babano. I'm on them in 7. They need to win tomorrow. Will they win in Edmonton tomorrow and upset that nice lady that dresses the Stanley Cup every year?
Yeah, she is nice.
Well, I'm here to make picks on who I think will win, not who I want to win. I want LA to win. This is a big series.
But you think Edmonton will win?
I think Edmonton's ending. I don't see gas in the tank. This coach has driven his top players into the ice with the immense ice time, playing guys that are bottom 2 defensemen, bottom 3 forwards, 2 minutes, 3 minutes in a game, which is absolutely absurd. He's just it's been one of the worst player ice time deployments I've ever seen from a head coach in a playoff series. Hiller deserves to be held over the coals for it. And I don't know if LA can respond. Because look at, you guys saw Game 5. Did that look like a team with anything left in the tank? Edmonton outshot them 46-22. Took it to them. They looked like they ran out of gas. That worries me. I hate to say it, but I think Edmonton ends it tomorrow.
What's your pick, Cam?
LA is going to find a way because Edmonton, that atmosphere is going to be nuts, and you got to play that atmosphere against them. Score early, get things under control. If Edmonton goes up a couple goals, the Kings will fold. They got to come out early. I like the Kings in this spot.
All right, I had some good best of X. We'll get to it tomorrow, actually, because since it is Kentucky Derby week, we're on a racetrack. Other than that, you're on your own later.